like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Between the lens of fandom and the light of truth, there lies a fragile space. A place where imagination turns into belief and affection transforms into story. The screen glows softly in shades of purple. A low hum of voices fades in, echoing through the crowd like a heartbeat, the sound of thousands chanting two names that have lived together in the hearts of millions: Jimin and Jungkook. Clips begin to play, a lingering glance on stage, a teasing smile in a behind-the-scenes video, a hug that lasted a moment too long. For years, these simple gestures have been slowed down, edited, and replayed endlessly, turned into the foundation of one of the most passionate fan narratives in the BTS universe, Jikook. What began as fleeting interactions between two friends evolved into a global theory, a love story told through edits, tweets, and countless TikToks. Yet beneath all of it lies a question that refuses to fade. Where does fact end, and where does fanfiction begin? You've seen the threads. You've scrolled through the compilations. Maybe you too once wondered if there was something more. The narrative paints Jungkook and Jimin as secret soulmates, two people whose eyes hide stories untold, whose every lyric conceals messages only true fans can decode. For some, it's pure fantasy, a harmless expression of creativity. For others, it's proof of a hidden romance. But what if the story you've been told, the one that has consumed the internet for years, isn't as it seems? What if the so-called evidence is a product of perception, not reality? In this exploration, we're not here to shame or mock anyone's beliefs. We're here to look closely, to separate what is real from what has been imagined, to find the delicate truth beneath the noise. Human beings are drawn to chemistry. When we see connection, we instinctively search for meaning. Our minds fill the spaces between gestures with emotion. It's how we create stories, not out of lies, but out of longing. When Jungkook looks at Jimin on stage, when Jimin laughs at something Jungkook says, the moment feels intimate, charged with warmth. Fans pause the clip, slow it down, add soft music, and the scene transforms into something cinematic. Over time, what was once an innocent moment of friendship becomes a declaration of love. That is the power of perception and the essence of fan culture. Fandom thrives on emotion. It builds worlds out of seconds, meanings out of silence. The Jikook story grew not from official confirmation, but from collective imagination, from millions of hearts wanting to believe in a love that transcends what they can see. But let's look at the truth. Jimin and Jungkook are close, deeply so. They trained together, shared dorms, shared dreams, shared fear and exhaustion in the long nights before debut. They've held each other up during moments of vulnerability and celebrated each other's triumphs. Their friendship is one of trust and understanding, the kind that can only be born from years of shared struggle. That's the fact. What is not a fact, what has never been proven, is the belief that they are romantically involved. There has been no confirmation, no credible source, no statement from BTS, HYBE, or the members themselves that supports this. Both Jungkook and Jimin have spoken, in their own gentle ways, about their closeness and about the rumors that surround them. Jungkook once said that people often see what they want to see, but to them, their bond is one of comfort and familiarity. Jimin, always soft-spoken and thoughtful, echoed a similar sentiment, that love between them exists, but not in the romantic sense. It is brotherhood, not secrecy. Connection, not confession. Still, the theories persist. But because emotion is stronger than logic. Because stories give meaning to moments. Because for millions of fans around the world, Jungkook and Jimin represent something comforting, the idea that love, in any form, is real and beautiful. It's easier to hold onto the fantasy than to accept that what they share might be friendship, not romance. The internet, of course, amplifies this emotional narrative. Every glance becomes evidence, every lyric becomes a secret message, every tattoo becomes a code. But when placed in proper context, most of these theories crumble. Matching rings are often stylish choices, sometimes gifts. Lyrics are artistic expressions, not hidden diary entries. Physical affection in Korean culture is common among close male friends and doesn't automatically carry romantic meaning. The truth isn't filled with dramatic revelations. It's quieter, softer, but perhaps it's even more powerful that way. What Jimin and Jungkook share doesn't need to be romanticized to be extraordinary. It already is. Their bond defies easy labels. It shows that men can be tender, expressive, and emotionally open with each other without needing to fit society's definitions of love. They've shown the world that friendship can be as deep as love itself, and that vulnerability is not weakness but strength. Shipping, the practice of pairing real or fictional people into imagined relationships, has existed for decades. It's part of fan culture everywhere. It's not inherently wrong. It's creativity, a way for fans to express admiration through storytelling. The problem begins when fiction becomes truth, when fans forget that these people are real, with their own private lives, emotions, and boundaries. It's one thing to write stories. It's another to insist that those stories define reality. Jimin and Jungkook's friendship should be celebrated, not dissected. They've shared laughter that can't be faked, comfort that can't be staged, and care that goes beyond words. But to force those moments into the mold of romance is to overlook the purity of what they already have. Their connection is a reminder that love wears many faces, and not all of them are romantic. HYBE and BTS have often urged fans to respect the members' privacy and to focus on their music and message, self-love, authenticity, and unity. The beauty of BTS has always been in their openness, not in secret dramas. And perhaps that's the real heart of the Jikook story, not mystery, but meaning. Not secrecy, but sincerity. When we separate fact from fanfic, we're not trying to kill the magic. We're honoring it. Because the truth, their truth, doesn't need embellishment. It stands tall on its own. The next time you come across a Jikook edit, the kind that slows down their glances, softens their smiles, and sets it all to a love song, pause for a moment. Enjoy it for what it is, art, creativity, emotion. But also remember that behind those clips are two real people who care deeply for each other in their own way, who've built a friendship that's unbreakable without needing to be romantic. Not every beautiful connection needs a label. Not every act of care needs a theory. Sometimes it's enough to say, they love each other as brothers, as friends, as people who've walked the same long road together. And that is more than enough. The story of Jungkook and Jimin is not one of secret romance. It's one of sincerity, loyalty, and growth. Two young men who entered the world together, learned to face fame together, and never stopped holding on to the bond that made them stronger. That's not fiction. That's truth. So let the edits play, let the fans imagine, but let us also remember the human beings behind the myth. Because at the heart of it all, their story isn't about what the world assumes. It's about what's real, the quiet, steadfast affection of two souls who have always understood each other without needing words. That is the truth behind Jimin and Jungkook. Not scandal, not secrecy, but something far rarer, pure, unspoken respect, and the kind of love that doesn't need to be proven, only felt.